It was over the Bahamas at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I think it's already past us.
Come on, pretty mama,
Mama,
Key
Key
Largo,
Largo, Montego.
Antego.
Can that be the intro song to this episode?
That needs to be.
Oh,
Oh, I could go for hours. But no, like how as a female could you
We
not?
know that's why you buy the condoms.
And honestly, that's the only reason I have a Costco membership.
What's up, cool cats and kittens? Bill here.
Yo, what's up, dudes? I'm Brad.
I am here. I am blessed and highly favored.
Welcome to If We're Being Honest. Bill, you got a drink, bud?
Just agua. Just agua.
Really? You going rogue on us or what?
Whoa.
Well, I bought 2 cases thinking we might get a hurricane, so I might as well drink them up.
No, I think that's opposite of the rules. I think you save it.
Yep, that's not how that works.
So how you guys' week been? Right now we have a hurricane en route. How does that make you guys feel?
I'm Gucci. It's not windy or rainy. I'm fine.
I think we're in over-exaggeration mode for just about everything at this point, including COVID, hurricane, fucking you name it. It's escalated.
But I thought the same thing. But 2020's not been the best to us. So I mean, I think to be a little cautious of a hurricane, maybe the smartest move.
No, we need to get COVID survivor t-shirts, first of all. Secondly, literally it rained. That's it. South Florida.
A little bit. It's raining.
Like a little bit. It's rained harder during the day at like 1 p.m. Am I right?
You're 100% correct.
So real quick, we want to do our first guest to the show. Leah, what's up?
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, just if you can yell just a little bit louder next time.
What?
Perfect. So, Leah, tell us, who you are, introduce yourself, and then I'll ask you some questions before you get started.
Very nice.
Okay. Oh man, I don't even know what to say. Leah, millennial, technically not though, state of mind. I'm easily like swap the numbers. I'm like 72 years old. I actually fell down the stairs last night. Confirmed. I'm good.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, no, I'm straight.
Right.
J-Mo hit a little hard last night, but we good.
All right, dude, I'm here for it. I was going to throw mad shade, but then she hit it with the J-Mo, and I was like, all right, cool. So my first and only question before we get started into having you on the show is, have you listened to one or two of the episodes, and what are your thoughts on them?
Not only have I listened to 1 and 2, but I'm also a subscriber. So,
Nice.
No, I literally love it. I feel like you guys, it's in the name, like you're honest, you're straightforward. You're saying what people don't want to say or don't know how to say, and that's what it's about.
So right now, if we go around the call and we talk about if you think that the civil unrest and the COVID pandemic is in line with the election year and strictly because it's election year, let us know.
Well, it's funny. I put that question out, on the gram, got a bunch of responses. It's almost right down the line. People think that could go either way, just based on probably your political belief is where you stand on that topic. I don't think it's a coincidence at all. I think it's completely planned.
Planned how?
100%.
Talk to me.
100%. I think that the whole COVID thing was a plan. I think it got out of hand quickly and has escalated into something that they never expected. Things were really, really bad. And all of a sudden there was the police officer situation in Minneapolis that, in my opinion, looked very suspicious and not how a normal interaction with a police officer would have gone. So I think that they're just trying to keep civil unrest and fear during this final year.
Man, it's hard. It's hard because I think Bill's right. I think the law enforcement, excessive force it's something that's been happening for years, right? It's highlighted, right, when we're in a situation where everybody's locked up, people aren't working. People can't pay their bills. You know what I'm saying? People can't feed their children. And we have a situation that's just like, it's escalated and it's blown up out of proportion because of the situation that we're in, right? We're all caged in these homes. We're all like in our own devices, right? But when you look at the numbers, excessive force has been an issue with police and law enforcement for decades. And it's not just minorities. It's not just Black people. It's not just Spanish people. It's everybody. It's everyone. So it definitely has a lot to do with the time we're in. It definitely has a lot to do with COVID. Everything is linked together. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. It definitely makes a lot of sense what Bill's saying.
I agree mostly regarding the civil unrest, man. There has always been inequity, and especially there's been a racial injustice that's been highlighted. And I think it's always going to be highlighted, though, when the media wants to do so. And that being said, I think, too, that the media period will always only highlight what's going to make them money. I do think that people will purposely highlight things on the media to stir shit up, to stir people up. And I say that because a lot of these news agencies are ultimately tied to one or two people. People are only willing to put stuff out that's going to evoke the most passion, concern, frustration, feelings, and ultimately at the end, views and money.
You know, we had the Blackout Square Tuesday situation to raise awareness, and it covered up, or let me rephrase that, it silenced a huge event in the news, which was the Hillary Clinton, trial, saying about Benghazi, like, hey, you know what, we're going to disclose this information. And none of that really came to light because of the overshadowing of, the Black Square and what it was promoting. And then also recently too, with the Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell situation, we had this, black and white women photo challenge accepted thing come, and it was like all over, Instagram and, women empowering women, but also too, like important documents are being released about Ghislaine Maxwell, who's on the flight logs and submarine and who's going to the islands. Coincidentally, that was the same day. So just, it's just piquing an interest in some more than others. I can't say that I'm all knowing, because I'm not sitting here researching and diving into and divulging into the whole topics, but it just has raised a slight awareness. It's almost November, we're already into August, and I feel like Trump, the current president, whether it was Trump or not, is in a position damned if I do, damned if I don't. He can't win. And while this has all been going on, Trump has also he defunded the World Health Organization. He's probing into the coronavirus and China's involvement in it. He's been doing a lot of things that the media has not been covering. And it's just very interesting because all these points would be great for a re-election situation that's just not being covered.
So I kind of asked these guys before you joined us, and welcome. How do you think COVID is affecting the current elections? What happens after November with COVID?
So I think now there's supposedly a vaccine, and it's going to be released in September. That's 2 months before the election, and back in 2012, Trump was like, I could entertain the thought of running for president, but I'm not going to do it unless I can win. And so here he is, 2020, he's president, he's coming, to run again. So it's entertaining that same thought of, can he win again? And I personally think that if Trump wins, coronavirus will still be around. It'll still be this pandemic. However, if someone other than Donald Trump wins, I think it will subside and life will go back to normal, because there will be a certain amount of praise that's going to collaborate with that win for the Democratic side, curing coronavirus and how they're going to take that. This is my opinion, of course. I think they're going to take that victory a little further.
That's an interesting thought. Trump mismanaged it so poorly. Look, we came into office and figured out this vaccine could have been handled much quicker. That's a good thought. I never really thought of that. Another thing that you brought up that I didn't really think of was the black and white dress thing, because I don't understand it. I've been seeing the pictures and seeing the challenge, and I didn't know what it was. But now that you mentioned the same day that, the Epstein files were released and all that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, it's just diving into the side of conspiracy a little more, but it definitely is like stirring that pot, like what is this really about, because so the black and white women challenge, people are like, oh, it's about women empowerment. And then you have a whole different side of people saying it's about the murders of women in Turkey. But then if people are like, oh, click the link in my bio, and you click on it, the black and white photo challenge has been used for years for multiple different platforms, for cancer, for women empowerment, for breast cancer, for all these different topics that are all encompassing. So it's not necessarily, in my opinion, just kind of like the blackout. It's not supporting an idea for a solution. It's just kind of just there for the time being.
I completely, I will agree with you, Leah, that, in an election year, anything that's happening, if a fucking earthquake happens, a volcano erupts, things that we would like to say is completely natural, someone is going to, try to use that to their advantage. Well, we would have done this, or this party did this. So I agree with you there. One thing I love that you mentioned and you talked about, Ghislaine Maxwell, and, the negative moniker of Pedophile Island. That's a serious topic that we haven't really breached, but I think is crazy. Have you guys all seen that documentary on Netflix?
The Jeffrey Epstein documentary that involves her, is what you're talking about, right?
Yes. So real quick, let's hit on Epstein. So first and foremost, do you guys think that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I think that's unanimous. Okay.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard you ask.
Well, so something that I don't think the media, obviously, oh, he killed himself. Okay, cut and dry. They talk about how it is one of the most heavily guarded prisons, et cetera, but Jeffrey Epstein put his entire net worth, which I think is, north of hundreds of millions of dollars, for bail.
The irony is that she's now locked up in the same penitentiary. How do we feel about that?
Not a coincidence.
And also the most New York thing that could ever happen. Why would you do that? You just had this high profile person associated with the same people die in that same prison. Why would you do that?
Have you ever seen the show Scandal? I feel like our current events is literally an episode of the show, right? Because it's like that whole hanging thing is straight out. It's scripted straight out of that show.
When we talk about things like the Epstein case, right? That brought the Netflix documentary brought a lot of stuff to light, right? And one thing in particular is the disturbing accounts, the disturbing accusations of pedophilia, molestation, inappropriate things. Did he do it, being Jeffrey? 2, what is her part in it? I'd like to go around and talk about that real quick.
So first question, yes, he did it. Let's just clear that up.
Did what? What did he do?
He trafficked underage women.
Underage
girls.
Meaning under 18?
Children.
So while I understand what's meant by that, I do. And I'm not saying it's okay, when you say children, which is what a lot of the media does, right? Trafficking children, right? I think fucking 3, 4,
5,
8,
6, 7, 8, 9,
all
10,
the way up
11,
12,
11,
13, 14,
then
15, right?
At 16, I could definitely be like, you know what? This is not cool. I'm not feeling this. I want to bail out of this, and I'm done.
All right. So to that point, right, you're saying at 16, right, you should be able to make an adult decision. That's what
Facts.
You're saying.
In Mississippi, 16's an adult.
At 16. So you should be able to drink at 16. You should be able to vote. You should be able to vote at 16.
I didn't say. Well, you're saying 16.
They're saying an adult decision. These are all adult things.
Right, but you're saying, well, that's fine. But 18 is the legal age, right? But
I'm saying we should drop
drink.
it. We should drop it to 16. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm
here's a caveat with that, right? So the definition of a child is someone who has not hit puberty, essentially, or someone who is less than the age of the majority. So, so I think it's kind of on a individual, personal basis, because obviously it also goes into maturity, whether that's mental, physical, emotional, just the broad spectrum of maturity. But also now you have to think, right, if you're going to bring in like legal voting and smoking's now 21.
21.
All over. Yeah. And drinking 21. So it's 21. Just like, at what point, I understand like the mainstream media is characterizing all of the young adults in this scandal as children, whether they may or may not be. But the fact of the matter is, majority of them were underage at the time, and is appearing that they were unable to make that adult decision to know what was going on, that they were being groomed for essentially sex trafficking.
Wait a second now, because listen, there were some of them at 17 years old. Hey, come give this rich guy a massage. That's all he wants. He's going to give you a lot of money. It's totally normal. I'm sorry, dude. That even at every age I can think about, because that doesn't sound like a good idea. You've got to. Is there ever a time? Yes. Is there ever a time the onus should somewhat be on someone else? Now, again, I'm not saying this is okay. Inappropriate shit happens to people. There are people who get taken advantage of physically, and it is never okay, period. But then when people try to say something, there's like a societal thing of like, oh, she's just making it up. And there's occasionally he's just making it up.
For sure. But because what you're talking about is is it a difference between when that person is 17 years old and say they turn 18 the next day? If the action happened when they were 17, you're telling me that one day made a huge difference in their decision? It didn't.
So I did a quick Google. I'll probably be arrested by the FBI soon. As of now, it's listed as over 30 states that say 16 years old is the age of consent. Now, we know that is in reference to obviously only carnal activities. But here's the interesting thing. We just talked about, 21 for drinking, 21 now for smoking. Voting is still 18. Do we think that we need to take a bigger look at the age to do the things that adults do in America?
Well, you're also talking about states that also you're allowed to marry your first cousin. So
I take that personally. Okay. I call her my ex-wife. Thank you.
Jesus. Is that why you're gay, Brad? What happened?
Well, after the kid came out with as a mongoloid, I realized it's not for me.
I think with the age of consent and absolutely not being able to make an educated decision at 16, some of those bad decisions that happen end up costing welfare, adoption, all sorts of, social policies that end up assisting a young mother that isn't in a predicament to take care of a child. So I definitely think that moving that age of consent that should be a huge thing, of course. Like, if you're gonna tell me that you can't make a good decision on drinking or joining the military or voting, but you can to have sex, that doesn't make any sense.
No, well, all of us, have stories, right? And all of us have lived through a time, and I think look back at one thing or another and go, holy shit, I can't believe I did that. Dude, I think back and I'm like, bro, I was fucking lucky. I'm lucky, I didn't get some sort of STI, STD. I'm lucky that I didn't get in a crazy accident. So many things. So if you're going to say I can't smoke till I'm 21, I can't drink till I'm 21, I shouldn't be able to join the military till I'm 21, and I shouldn't be able to vote till I'm 21. Now, conversely, I've always said this. If you're still able, this is before the 21 smoking thing. If you're able to join the military at 18, you should be able to drink at 18, period. And that's on period.
Yeah, I agree 1,000% with that because
we know it's happening anyways.
The people who decided they wanted to sign up because there's no draft and fight for our country at 18 years old, they should realistically be able to do whatever the fuck they want. That is legal. Oh, dang.
We have 9 minutes and 50 seconds remaining before you get booted out. Should we start?
We're not getting booted out.
You don't think we are? You think we should just rock it?
We get extended every time.
I've never seen this countdown, though.
I've never seen the countdown either.
A few moments later.
Famous last words, because we're not going to get booted, Justin says, and we got booted.
Yes.
So, you know what they say, third time's a charm. That's how I turn gay.
That's what she said. That is how you turn gay. Look at you.
Okay, so I want to I think that we had something.
Caveat, that is legal. But so now I have another, if we're like, it seems like we're segueing into like, you know, what is legal and what age, right? So like, you know, being a female, right? You have to be 18 years old to buy Plan B.
Ooh.
Why? Like
yes.
something happens, I just can't go to Walgreens and, you know.
You know why? Because
no, your 21-year-old boyfriend's going to go buy it for you.
I mean, that was, you know, 35, you know, he could get a couple of them. I'm just joking. Just joking.
So, you know.
No, but so at 16, you know, you can make that decision to have sex with whoever you please, but you can't regret that decision and buy a Plan B for 2 more years.
Exactly.
Well, check.
Crazy?
You know what I think? A big reason for all sorts of crazy shit happening is social norms, and it's never cool for it. Well, at least I guess it wasn't for me, right? It's embarrassing to be like, hey, I want to buy these condoms. I don't know if it's because they're extra small or not, but I want to buy these condoms. I've had a little bit more juice this go around than before, and I've been dieting all week, dude. I've lost 8 pounds because I'm a fat piece of shit. So like, I'm feeling it. Okay,
stop, damn it, you stop it right now.
Okay, here we go. So I believe that societal norms play a big impact in the way things turn out, and when I say this because I remember being in an age where it was embarrassing to buy condoms because it was like, well, you know, I don't want people to know. Did you guys ever experience that, or is that just me?
Yeah. I think so I lived in a small town, so pretty much any store where I would go to buy condoms, like I probably knew one of the cashiers or something. So I would like maybe go to the next town over, the first gas station I came to, something like that. Something that like, you know, even though like you're in high school, you're like, yeah, man, I'm having sex, dude. That's so cool. You're like, oh, but dude, I don't want to be a nerd and be using condoms.
Right.
You know that.
Isn't it such a weird dichotomy, right? It's like, it's cool, but then it's not cool.
I was proud to buy condoms because I'm like, yo, I'm being safe, right? Because I'm doing it, right? So everybody who was at the counter knew what was happening. Leah, have you ever had to buy condoms?
No, I have not. I feel like that's like the topic we should talk about. Like, no, I feel like that's a lie. I'm lying. Yep, yes, I have.
Gross.
You want to elaborate on that?
No, so.
Because I think that's more. Hey, honestly, I think that's more interesting than dudes buying condoms as a female.
I think that this is something we could have hit on like last week with the whole.
We could have.
You know,
wow.
Hey, if
Leah was busy.
If a girl's gonna make you wear a condom, shouldn't she provide it?
I was doing the female part. I was making dinner instead of, you know, buying condoms.
So let me ask you this: Is it embarrassing for you to have to buy condoms for the situation?
No. Me and the lady at Walgreens were on a first name basis. Kelly's cool as hell. You know, I walk in there, she pretty much knows, Leah, you already know what I don't have to ask directions. I know where I'm going.
She got the Plan B and the condoms already.
The
usual, honey.
Aisle, so, I could go for hours. But no, like, how as a female could you?
We
not?
know that's why you buy the condoms.
And honestly, that's the only reason I have a Costco membership.
They don't sell condoms at Costco. No way.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
how?
shit.
Oh my God! What's the size of the box, dude?
No.
Do they have Brad's size?
Probably not. They're probably sold out if they do.
They only carry Brad's size. It's cost effective.
So you know what kills me about shopping at places like Costco? I would rather pay fucking the 10 cents more, $1 more for like a normal size toilet paper then
No.
need a goddamn pallet, need a fucking forklift to offload the pallet and store it in a random closet. Dude, what are you doing? Who needs 7 tubs of toothpaste? Tubes of toothpaste.
They sell them by the 3. It's not 7.
Okay,
You've clearly never been to
understand
Costco.
what I'm saying.
It's 3.
Brad,
you literally.
I'm with you. I got the executive membership thinking I was about to start balling out at Costco, and I went in there the first time, and I'm like, dude,
First of all, it's Costco, okay? Not Costco. Whatever you said.
It's Costco.
No, it's not it. That's not it.
It's great for deployments.
You know why you thought it was cool buying condoms when you were young? Because you knew that cashier was looking at you as a young Hispanic man saying, thank God he's wearing a condom.
Oh, my God.
I'm still, honestly, the reason I always chose to be safe is because I was so regretful that my parents weren't. So we hit a lot just then, and I don't even know our fucking time hack.
Okay.
So the mail-in, we're going to go back to the whole, election year thing that we've been talking about and how
I want to
everybody's
go back
scared
to dating.
Everyone's scared of Corona and don't want to leave their house, and they're pushing this mail-in ballots, and regardless of voter fraud and all that going on. They just came out with a clip from 2004 of Jerry Nadler talking about how dangerous paper voting ballots are and how they're highly susceptible to fraud. But now they're saying it's completely safe. What do you think about that?
Well, so you got to think too, like, I understand mail-in voting and absentee voting are 2 different things, but essentially, you register for your absentee ballot. You have the option to submit it electronically or mail it in. They're the same thing. Like, they're different, but they're the same. You're essentially trusting the United States Postal Service, which half of my shit ends up in the construction lot next door to me anyways. You're entrusting these people to this, your ticket, your ballot, to get it there. It's the same thing. So if thousands of active duty deployed members are doing this, and it's supposed to, our vote matters, what's the issue?
I think the issue is the volume. It's, politicians who are away, it's, military members who are away. Like you said, we're in the thousands. We're not talking about multiple tens of millions of people.
Black Friday in November 10th is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be a nightmare trying to get a vote account on it. Like, people are going to get paper cuts everywhere trying to open those letters, count those votes.
Kelly at Walgreens will hook them up, liquid bandage.
Alfred.
But you got to think too. So when you register for your mail-in, absentee, whatever, you're sending it to wherever you're registered to live, to your local office. Can that be resolved by a drop-off station?
I don't know. Are you going to be able to even go to an office like we're in COVID? Like, people are working alternate work schedules, alternate work sites. Another thing that I understand, I've never done an absentee ballot, but you're supposed to either sign it with a witness or e-sign it or something. It's supposed to somehow be verified.
So if you mail it in, you just sign it. You don't have to have a witness, a notary, nothing. Which also, that could obviously stem into a whole fraud conspiracy theory situation as well, but
I think the United States lives off lies. All of its.
Can we talk about the fact that aliens have been confirmed? They said that spacecrafts are vehicles and no one blinked a fucking eye. So hear me out, right? So Joe Rogan hit on this because I'm not original, right? So I'm like, Joe Rogan is like, hey, what about all those people who were like, hey, I was abducted, and like, oh, you're full of shit. What if they were abducted? Like, oh my God, we're just gonna skip over it.
I think. Go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
I want Bill to go.
So, if aliens are these, just wizards at technology that are so far ahead of us and, you know, have mastered the universe and they can travel from wherever they're from to here. How come every single person that's ever been abducted is some hillbilly from fucking middle of nowhere United States that like may or may not have all their teeth? Like, I don't know, but that's every single one of them.
That's a good point.
You don't think that they might pick maybe somebody smart to be like, hey, how smart are these guys down on this planet?
Hear me out. Jeffrey Epstein he didn't commit suicide. He was abducted by aliens.
Oh, that's what you're going with.
I'm just joking.
I was about to say, Jesus. We have entered a whole different zone.
I like how... Go ahead.
So, Leah, while we have you here, I think, you know, I feel like I would be remiss, honestly, having our first female guest, right? And I'm going to do a little flashback Friday. Last week, as you saw, we talked about dating and, you know, dating norms, gender norms, all these other things. What are the obstacles you've had in this day and age with dating?
So this essentially plays into, you know, social norms, social media, and the past 4 years, you know, the whole Trump situation. I think that people are so consumed by social media. They literally have whatever they could possibly want at their fingertips. And it ties back into what you guys were talking about guys cheating. And women too, you know, we're pretty horrible as well. So the fact that you have everything you could ever want at your fingertips, if you disagree with someone, oh, this other person is on the same page with me, you know, maybe there won't be that conflict that we can't resolve. And also, you guys were talking about, you know, the whole Trump thing, you know, on dating sites. I would consider, you know, Bumble, Tinder, whatever else there is, as a social media app. And, you know, you're seeking attention from these people. There's a lot of situations where there is on someone's profile, if you're for Trump, swipe left. You know, don't talk to me. So from what you guys were talking about, you know, just don't talk about it. Is it worth my time, you know, as a, you know, female, male, whatever situation it may be, is it worth my time, you know, if this person is so closed-minded about something that could just, you know, not be talked about, you could live peacefully, are they going to be like that in other scenarios, in other topics? You know, are they going to be so closed-minded that you can't have that conversation and distinguish the disagreed to agree situation?
Most likely, they probably will be.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And I think you hit the nail on the head with that.
I think you saying that's huge. I think that you're introspective to, it's not just one-sided. It's not just men who could potentially seek this sort of immediate satisfaction, right? The dopamine that comes from getting that notification that you have a match, or getting that DM or that text message from someone. That's always going to be there. And that's always going to, I think, challenge and perhaps be a threat to what's good.
I think another thing that got brought up to me after the second episode aired, and somebody came up to me and they were like, you know what's something you guys didn't cover? And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, if women have something set in their mind about what their ideal guy is, if you are missing one of those things, if you got everything, say you got 90% of the shit, 10% is off, like you're done. Like they won't even consider it. So it's like you're missing out on a great guy just because one of the things that you think is like super important to you is off. Like, is it worth, like, my question to you, Leah, is it worth that? Like, are you, like, as a woman, are you willing to like give a guy a chance who isn't 100% of what you're looking for, but has like 90% of it?
So I think that, you know, obviously everyone has different things that they like, they don't like, you know, their turn-ons, their turn-offs situation, but I think this applies to both genders. If someone is mature enough in a relationship, they'll be able to compromise and be like, hey, you know what, like this person is so genuine, but there's just like a little bit of water on the sink after she brushes her teeth. Like, I think we can make it work.
No, hey, complete psychopath.
Psychopath.
It's
Can't
all about
happen.
the granite. It's all about the granite.
All
The
about
granite. It's the granite sink, not even the granite countertop. The granite
Sink.
sink.
It's all about the sink. Shit, I can't relate to that struggle.
Yo,
I got linoleum.
My man got granite in the bathroom.
Okay, so real quick, Leah, I want you to give us a recap of the things that we talked about, if you wouldn't mind, of course. If you wouldn't mind giving us a recap of what we talked about, and yeah, tell us what you thought about how that went.
Well, shit, I'm 2 JMOs down. I'm probably gonna miss a couple things.
I hope you out. I hope you out.
Okay. So we talked about the election year. We talked about conspiracies. We talked about, social norms. We hit about Jeffrey Epstein and how that plays into what's going on in the world with the media and how they're portraying that. You left and we went on a tangent about aliens. That was pretty cool.
You went on a tangent about aliens.
I did. It was just me. It's just me. I like that would be so cool. Is no one else thrilled about that idea? And then
not everyone just wants to get probed, Leah.
Brad's froze.
Okay. I was like,
this happens to Brad all the time.
I said the
I don't live in a good area. I'm like,
did you guys not hear that joke?
No, he lives in North Carolina in the woods. He's like under a bunker right now.
They actually just got hit. Like he's protected from the.
Hello. Hello.
Oh.
Is he frozen again?
His internet is the worst, bro.
What the fuck? Are you guys fuck with me? Dude, we've got 7 minutes to get this right. All right, listen. Can you hear me? All right.
How can they cut us off? It's so wrong.
I feel like if we just don't acknowledge Brad for a solid 30 seconds, he'll think he froze. Yeah. I feel like that would be kind of funny to watch.
Are you guys playing this? Are you fucking with me right now?
No, we can only.
Oh my god, dude! I totally believed you, Leah. I have aphasogoraphobia. That's a real thing. All right, listen.
Rip. I like how I started and I had bad lighting, my face was red, and now I've had some JMOs and it's the same situation, just a different lighting position.
It's like I was looking at you. I was like, I was hoping you were looking at your phone because it's like shit.
Well, I wasn't. I have the Ring doorbell, and I got a new roommate today, so it's been going off. I'm like, I'm gonna put it on silent. So I didn't hear that go off. Wish I would have. Bummer.
You know what we didn't talk about was the banning of TikTok and what TikTokers are gonna do. Oh, that might be the next.
Don't get me started. Oh my god, I'm so flustered. I'm just agitated. I'm triggered by everything we've talked about.
What do you know about TikTok, honestly?
We could have went so much deeper, though. We could have went to Pizzagate. We could have done all sorts of stuff.
What the hell's Pizzagate?
Oh, dude, I showed on that Fall of Cabal, dude.
Off on Pizza Hut, man.
Wait, it's the what?
The dude that owns the pizza shop in DC that has all the pedophile art, that has pedophile parties and shit. Dude, you guys watched that shit that I gave you, the Fall of Cabal?
I told you I watched the first episode and I said this is straight Trump rhetoric.
Leah, are you a Trump supporter? I think you are.
Yes, I am.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Have you seen the 10-part series on YouTube called The Fall of the Cabal?
No, I haven't. I might be ignorant about this because
ignorance that's what we covered that last episode.
I'm quick to say that I'm ignorant, so I don't know if that makes me still ignorant or uneducated, but I'm not going to say.
No, ignorant is uneducated. That's the same thing.
You need to watch this 10-part series for sure. Pizzagate, which is a real thing that it's never been investigated by anybody. However, there's been multiple confirmations of all this stuff. So, dude buys a
Hut?
No, Pizzagate. Hashtag Pizzagate.
I'm listening.
All right, so this dude buys a pizza shop in Washington, D.C., right? He's a nobody. Out of nowhere, he becomes one of the top 50 most influential people in D.C., right? They're like, who is this guy? Turns out this guy is a distant cousin of the Rothschild family.
Oh, nice.
So it's called, what's it called? Pizza Comet? Something like that. Comet
That's
Pizza.
from Toy Story.
No, it's Pizza Planet.
Oh shit, might be.
I was literally thinking the same thing.
Thank
Anyways, so it's called like Pizza Common. This dude's name is like Alfonte. If you're looking it up, Alfonte or Alafonte or something like that. So it has like kids games, and then it has like a room in the downstairs, and all over this place is all art that is depicting little children being
Jesus
abused.
Christ.
Oh, you guys looking it up?
No,
I am, yeah.
So I just want to have fun, and you guys are talking about the most.
Listen, no, because this shit is real. Like this is like, so I kind of equate this to like, cocaine cowboys, and they talk about like everybody thinks about Pablo Escobar, and he wasn't even a real player in the cocaine business. He was just a guy. So that's how I kind of equate, like everybody's focused on Jeffrey Epstein, but dude, this is a global like issue. Like, did you know that like 3 days ago was like National Human Trafficking Awareness Day?
I did.
The only reason I knew is not to be like send some shade on the subject is because it was all over social media.
Yeah.
But did anybody from Hollywood come out and say anything?
See, and that's a good point, is because we talk about all these subjects and these people who are famous and they have their influence and they have their following, and they use their following to promote certain things. And like Leah said, with the black squares and the black and white, all that shit, like you see all that shit from these famous people, but bro, there's people fucking dying out here, you know what I mean, on a regular basis.
Yo, but so Hollywood is like a big pedia, like they're crazy out there, right? And like this, you guys didn't get into it, but it talks more about it. It's not all Trump rhetoric. I really encourage you to watch it. And it goes into the craziness that how the entire world it revolves around the sex trade, and how all these families, like the royal family, how they got Prince Andrew on the flight logs for Epstein's thing. It goes through everything. Did you know that? So the artist that depicts these children being abused and hangs it on the wall at this pizza shop, the pool who she's depicting these children being abused in is the pool of the Vanderbilt family. They have a mansion. They have a dried out pool in their basement. This is the pool. And I don't know the mother's name. She's a Vanderbilt. You know who her son is? Anderson Cooper, who, is in our media depicting.
So I like Anderson Cooper, though.
Controlling what everybody sees.
So Pizzagate is a debunked conspiracy theory that went viral during the 2016.
Yeah.
Like that's the first thing that comes up is debunked in 2016. And it's but no one talks about it.
How has it been debunked?
But check it. What was 2016? Election year. So then you look at Pizzagate conspiracy theory thrives anew in the TikTok era. The false theory targeting Democrats, now fueled by QAnon and teenagers on TikTok, is entangling new targets like Justin Bieber.
So let me hit on those two real quick right now. QAnon just recently was censored on Twitter. They were just recently censored because they're bringing this all back to the light. And Justin Bieber, funny thing is, Justin Bieber, I just saw a video today of his music video, Believe, where they started slowing down all the clips, and it's like got graffiti in the background of him like dancing, and it's got so many like little hidden messages in there.
Dude, so, I just in my heart of hearts, I can't think that this Canadian bacon Justin Bieber is, I just can't, bro. I can't. In my mind, I think that you can find things, you can twist things, you can edit things, surely, right? This dude's not into that, right? Like, surely.
No, he's not that he's into it. He is a victim of it.
So since we're speaking of, celebrities and their influence, I don't know if you guys have, you guys know like Avicii, right? Overdosed. Did you see his last music video that he put out like days before? I could be wrong about the timeline, but right before he died, it was, this new song he came out with, and the music video is of child sex trafficking.
Yep.
It's
Listen,
Heart-wrenching. It's nuts.
you guys need to watch this documentary because this is what it's speaking of. So
If I watch this documentary, I'm gonna start parading in the streets probably.
listen, it goes into all this. It goes into the singer of Linkin Park, Chester Bedingfield, right? Him and another musician who I can't think of the guy's name right now. They were both researching the sex trade of Haitian children, whose organization is in Haiti, the Clinton Foundation. Dude, it ties everything in together, dude. And it's wild. It's wild.
I'm gonna watch that after we're done. But did you guys see the? And I don't know if it was like came up on my news feed, like actual news, my news feed, whatever, about, and this is like, it's disgusting to say, and I'm sorry, but like this man who was in jail for a sex trafficking ring of a 3-year-old.
Jesus Christ.
He was in prison. I know it's disgusting to even talk about. And like, I don't want to necessarily like say the name. I don't want to give it any gratification or any like popularity, but this man was in prison, and this is I'll full circle this in a second. This man is in prison for basically taking this 3-year-old, raping this 3-year-old, and allowing his friends in this circle to do so. In prison, he was found with his dick chopped off. That's probably not PC, whatever. So there's this thing on the social media, and that, social media having such an influence that no one of celebrities is talking about, and I've seen it more popular recently. It's not like a meme, but it's kind of the same pretext of just basically text on a screen of, the prison system takes care of pedophiles better than our government does.
Yes. And I think that's something that's been happening for years. You know what I'm saying? Because you have people who get locked up for whatever reason, but there's like a code in jail, right? It's like something that people
like you hurt kids and you hurt women.
Yeah, it's like exactly. It's like The Professional, like the movie. Like if you hurt women or children, like you're not gonna last. So I saw this the other day. Actually, I saw this years ago, and it came up the other day. So Phantom Rescue. You guys ever heard of Phantom Rescue? All right. It's a group of former special forces guys who they range from Delta Force, SEALs, that kind of community, right? We know what we're talking about.
Yeah, the SF community.
Right. But especially the elite, right? So they hunt down sex traffickers for minors in different countries, and I don't know who funds them. Like it's very vague. It's kind of weird, but it's also very interesting. But they go to different countries, and they're literally like raiding fucking houses and huts. I'm fucking down, right? Like,
is this an option for the CFC thing that happens once a year? Because that's where I'll do that.
Right? Like I'm trying to do this like for free. People are donating to them, funding their travels, funding their weapons, funding their gear. It's called Phantom Rescue. Look it up.
So I want to sincerely take the time to Leah, thank you for coming on and talking to us, talking with us and expressing all of your opinions, which agree with us because we paid you off. And
by Trojan, actually. Please visit Walgreens aisle 5 for all your future purchases.
Yes.
Dude, you're perfect, dude. You're perfect.
You'll definitely be on some more episodes.
I have to
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Have to be. So, dude, I feel like this flew by because we were just going. Leah, you drove this episode. You drove this episode. How can people interact with us throughout the week?
Well,
there we go.
Each of you have social media accounts on Instagram, which of course I follow. And you can also subscribe to Three Amigos on YouTube and get yourself caught up on their 3 YouTube videos.
Boom.
Do we have a marketing manager right now? And
I think we just found
a perfect cheer. Dude, you rock. What are we going to be talking about next week?
Next week, we're going to be talking about defending yourself, defending others, conceal carry, and what type of weapons you want to conceal carry with.
Drop us a comment, guys. Let us know what you want to talk about.
This YouTube video is free. There's a price to pay. Share it, send the message, put it out there if you guys like what we're talking about.
Justin?
Stay classy, stay nice, be good to people, and don't be rude.
Where I'm from, we say jerk a knot in your ass.
Bradley, I've never in my
Never heard
42
that?
years heard that.
God damn, I'm gonna get back to that.